a developer on developer conversation series between myself, Murray Somerwolff, and
Rothio Tome.
and
It was because of how difficult it is to pronounce my name, right?
no, I would like I let's start off this very candid conversation by saying from the get-go, I've been very good at saying your name for this development, and one of us has not been so good at saying the other name. So
I tried my best, like Murray. Like English is difficult.
no, you got it right the first time, Murray. Like we can see Scottish, but yes. So we are the developers of Waxheads, and up to now we've had some great conversations with other developers, but because we are is celebrating, anticipating, terrified. We are 1 week away from the release of Waxheads, and so to I don't know, honor that, we are having this conversation between ourselves as the two people who have been working as Patattie Games, as the developers who've been on the game from beginning to end, and to just
Mhm.
find out how the hell we're feeling about it. So, Theo, how do you feel about the game that you've spent the last 2.5 years on is coming out in a week?
It's crazy when you think about it. Indeed, like I think I knew it was gonna be like a weird sensation because I had like a lot of other developers friends that they worked in their very own titles and they felt in a weird way just before releasing. But even if I had know the stories, it's nothing like you cannot anticipate how weird the sensation it is, because on one side you are super excited, everyone is gonna play the game, finally you can like breathe, because I feel like I have been like, how do I say, like contempting my breath,
Like holding your breath, yeah,
for,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
holding my breath like for a long time, a few weeks already, a few months, even years, and it's gonna be a release moment. But on the other side is one of the most scary situations I've been in, because it's like you are like releasing something really personal that you have invested 100% yourself. You only have like one chance of like getting other people to know the game, and it's all gonna be decided the very same day that everything is released, so it
Mm.
felt like scary and exciting at the very same time, and it feels like it's the most scary and the most exciting thing
Mm.
I can recall in the very last few years, so yeah.
I would say that I'll use this opportunity to segue into to do some setup because um, working together and yeah. So we've been working together for 2.5 years, and when the whole genesis for people who don't know, because we've told this story a few different places now in the press, but I've had this idea. I love music. I've played in bands. I love this whole kind of DIY culture, and I've been looking for a way to express that through the mechanics of games. And so I had this idea for Waxhead with the record store game, which, foolishly I tried to do on my own for like all of a month, which was a disaster. And a good, well, like one of your best friends and a friend of mine, Ludipe, who an amazing game designer in his own right, he introduced us together and thought that we would have like a good synergy, which good call. So,
Mhm.
and yeah, so and then what we made a prototype together. So that was yeah. So like, if we get the timestamps, that was October
Yeah,
2024 that we met.
exactly.
We made that. I proposed to do the prototype, so, which the idea was if anyone's interested in inside baseball, I was like, hey, I'll pay you to make a prototype, and it's like this is the date. Whatever when we get to that date, I pay you the money. You go here, you go. This is what we've made, and I don't know what I thought was going to happen from that point on, but yeah, and we made that prototype, and I was already blown away by how skilled and like proficient you were. It was just like this little twine prototype that I made, and then you just brought it to life so quickly in Godot, and I was like, wow, okay, this is like I was like, wow, it's actually a video game, and yeah, so then we made that prototype, and we had a discussion to then go, okay, like what if we team up? Like, what if we become um, which would then become later named Patattie Games. And yeah, it's just been like I want to take the moment to just recognize that if nothing else, working together has been like a real um pleasure. It's been lovely. I mean, it's been intense.
Yeah.
I do not think of any other situation where we wouldn't be where I am sitting, and how proud and how like the achievement and like the idea of looking at Waxet and seeing what it is if it wasn't for the fact that we made this together, and it wouldn't be what it is together. So that feels nice, and I feel happy to like recognize that in this moment in a very like public way.
Yeah, no, that's lovely. You're getting like you're making me a little bit emotional. Now, if you want, I can like tell my part of the
Mm,
story of how we met. Indeed, this very good friend of mine, he told me like, there is this Scottish guy that wants some English, some Godot lessons. Like maybe you can, like, cooperate with him because the project is amazing. And I played the Twine prototype, and it was really really nice. I fell in love with some of the characters, especially Winston, and it was like
mm.
I would love to do this project. And when I met Moray thing, and I told that a few times, like I was most, even if I was using Godot for a few weeks, I was mostly scared of not understanding you than my English skills. That can be challenging and not coding. But as you said, like everything went like smoothly. I could understand most of it. So, and now it's even better because I got used. I got used to paper picking a lot. But yeah, I was in this situation where I just abandoned my very own project because it was a Twitch integration project, and Twitch was like just dying slowly. And you sometimes have to say, this is the moment I stopped doing this. And I was looking for new projects to do. So even if like the the proposition was a little bit too much work for what you have like for the prototype. I was totally in a more like emotional and invested personally in there. So I really put all my heart in there, and I think you could see that, and that's why most more than like the skills I could have, it was because I really tried to make like the best prototype I could. And I was really comfortable all the way long, like how we communicated and
Mm,
like how we understood times, and everything went smoothly. And when you suggested me, like, do you want to go fully 50-50 into the project? And I didn't have like a chance of even doubting. It was like, of course, yes, like kind of situation immediately, because I think I felt exactly the same way. And I remember one of my mentors, Wen Frey. She was an amazing mentor that gave me like a lot of nice advice. One of them that really resonated on my head was like, if you ever find someone you are really, really comfortable working with, that's the best thing you can have in the video games industry.
mm,
Someone that holds your back, that you are aligned, because even if your paths eventually might separate, you know, you still have a really good memory always, like forever, about that time working together. And if everything goes unexpected, and you can get that working relationship over time,
mm,
it's gonna be the best. So when I found and I started working with you, it was a moment of thinking like, oh, this is what she meant. Like
mm,
I was only imagining, but this is what she meant. Like this kind of like unconditional trust of knowing the other person is doing their best, and then you are also doing your best, but with room to understanding. That's lovely. Yeah.
mm. Well, that's
Yeah.
very very sweet, and I, yeah, and I completely agree. like the amount of juice and the amount of like character that you brought to life in the game, like right, like the way the characters come in, like the I think it's completely underrated how good the animation is, the characters when they come into the store. Like the way they slide in, like the little angle tail, the way the stopping, everything about it is just so well. I mean, like I took it for granted because I was looking at it the other day and I thought, like, God, yeah, that could you imagine? It could be so much more stilted, but it gives it that really nice, like, nice of a dynamic kind of especially
You
and
know,
it,
it's all by code.
yeah, of
It's like
course, yeah.
math.
Well, it's math.
It's
Well, don't
like,
tell me that, but
yeah, I don't know a lot of maths when coming to animations. It's
mm,
really like fun, and it's actually three different twins animations, one for the vertical steps,
hmm.
one for the horizontal, and then a shader to changing the UVs of the objects to did that like wiggle effect. So yeah, it's like that's for the technical
Yeah,
people.
yeah. No,
This
I am both interested, but where my brain is at this state, I'm like trying to like wrap my head around it. And I'm just going, what if I didn't? What if I just didn't? I call it magic. You call it coding. I call it magic. And the
magic of code.
magic of code. Yeah, exactly. Um, I think it's insane how lucky we got, not just in each other, but for everyone else who's like worked on this project. Starting with Gina. Like Gina has just been like the music part of like this game in the way that has come to fruition has just been I can't not even my wildest dreams did I think that the soundtrack would be what it is. And then to go back to like on developers, then we've had Javi.
He's the most hard worker person I've ever met. He also did like the full Xbox port
Hmm.
by himself
Hmm.
from scratch,
Yeah.
and that's if people know how hard it is because they are like involved into like low level development. That's a
Yeah.
titanic task.
Yes, we so and, lucky
I mean,
there, and then so we had Melindy Hetfield, who did the who worked in writing, which was really a real amazing experience for me because what she was able to do was this cast of characters because Repeater Records employees, like all those core characters, like they feel so real to me now, and that was all Melindy's doing. And like I can't imagine what the game would be like without that heart inside it. So
I want to talk about Mighty.
yes, yeah, of
That
course.
is a good friend of ours.
Hmm.
She was especially focusing on like creating the different puzzles,
Hmm.
like how we can extend a given mechanic that in this case is a detective game, recovering information from visual cues, price cues, a lot of different elements from the game itself. And she did like a really nice combinations of all the items that could lead to a potential puzzle
Hmm.
altogether. And I could totally see how she's like a really skilled game designer. I think it was really helpful in the very beginning of the development to give all the different puzzle mechanics that might happen inside the environment you created.
Of course, then on the visual side, we had Matt Johns. He did the outside of the alphabet, the bar, which is just like stunning. It's like one of my most like show stopping moments of the game in terms of visuals. And right, he did all of the bar, like nearly like all the interiors of the like the stuff, which were really lovely, and the Monster Music TV interview. And we had Balash, who we came at the end, who's someone I've known from Copenhagen, works on like games like miniatures, which is like just it's very shout out another game. That game is like drop dead gorgeous, really fantastic game. But he came in and helped us out with like animation and just some like just bringing some like much needed quality to some of the last bits and pieces when we were trying to wrap up the end. When I suddenly realized, oh, my list of things to draw is quite extensive. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah. And also, if I can, like,
Yeah.
it's not like they have been involved in the development of the game itself, but they are part of the game, and they deserve their place in here. It's
Hmm.
like some amazing artists that we um, had two Spanish songs. One of them is in Spanish by Achilles. That he's an amazing artist, really, really
Hmm.
creative, and I really love his style. It's really, really unique, and he did a really cool song mimicking like a diva, a Spanish diva
I
in
love that song.
the
It's gorgeous.
80s. Yeah, it's amazing. And we also have Male Cerves that is not in Spanish but in a different language
Hmm.
that is also official in Spanish but in Países Valencianos.
Mm.
And it's really, really, really personal to her. So it's also really something I love, like having different voices inside the game that can express different stuff. And we gave a lot of like creative license to them to do their best. So both Morphery and Achilles did an amazing work into different songs.
I loved how much this game has. Like, this is one of the things that I'm really, if nothing else, like I keep, but like how personal, how we managed to bring these personal attachments into it. Like even like the Xelivier and RJ song, I heard them like they like had done the rap on El Paso Elsewhere, and I thought it was so awesome to like see like a developer, someone putting themselves for, first and forward, like doing that, like like going, hey, I want to do the music in my game. Like, why shouldn't I? Like, why can't I do it? And seeing them do that, and then being able to like honor that in wax sets, it felt like I don't know, like it feels weird. I feel like I like the idea of being in conversation with that. Because like you're on a song, I'm on a song,
Yeah.
like I'm on a couple of songs, so that feels, I don't know, it
Yeah,
feels.
but don't expect the people if they are like looking for the song. Don't expect like an amazing vocals. Okay, I am tone deaf. I don't know how to sing, but since it was important for Murray that I was in a song at least,
Hmm.
Gina did this amazing work with just a few vocals. I recorded a few sentences, so now I in the quite like it's like a slightly like sexy voice, in
Voice
in a song
sample,
called
like
like,
dance, kind of like
romantic,
yes, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and I mean,
You know,
I love it. Like the bit where it like kicks in is awesome. Like
yeah,
it's
it
such a
was
good.
kind of my dream, being
Yeah,
like the sexy voice in the background of a of a electronic music, like in a rave, everyone like chilling, and then like my voice in there.
it's
Not
not.
joking, like it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's not too late. We can change the credits. We can change the credits to
No,
like sexy voice by.
sexy
Yeah,
Spanish voice.
yeah. Uh, okay, so we've done the let's talk about how amazing everyone else is in the game, and let's before our brain is turned to mush, like what, okay, let me pose this to you. What is one thing you're really proud of that you've, in wax sense, one thing in development, it could be anything, but one thing you're like, yes, like hell yes, this
Can
thing.
you can you start so I
Me,
have like
okay.
more time to think?
I was asking you, so it would give me time to no
You
okay.
did the question now. Now it's you.
I'm trying to think of like, I think for me, what I'm like, 'cause we have to be careful because we can't, because obviously we're doing this a week before the game comes out, so we can't spoil anything. I particularly like the ending. Anyway, that I had the idea for the ending, and I think we pulled it off. And it's hard to know if it's just the catharsis of making the game or fatigue, but every time I play for the ending, I get teared up, and I feel like, to me, or at least for me, I feel like it hits some kind of emotional. It hits somewhere where I was hoping to, like, I my whole relationship to creativity, like whether it's books, comics, games, film, music, is that I love when I feel moved. Like when something moves me, it gives me that kind of like, oh, like that was so. Oh, I've got feelings, and like my hope is always then in my own whatever I put out there is to create something like that. And the ending of this game is something which I personally feel like I feel satisfied in a way of going, hey, we did something that feels like it hits on a note. So that's something where when I think about the game, I get excited, hoping that when people have this whole journey and they get to that ending, and it will hit them in a cathartic way, which I hope pays off. So yeah, that's mine.
Okay, so in my side, oh,
Mm.
of course, it's gonna be more technical,
Yeah.
but I really like the work we did with the controller support and accessibility, in
Mm.
how we manage.
Mhm.
I'm quite always like quite obsessed with making the controls feel okay, and it's
Mhm.
something that it's not 100% on the programming side, but more like UX design. But it's a field I have like a lot of interest in. So technically, it was a challenge because most of the games is UAs, and we all know how difficult it is to make those like systems to work and to be able to navigate with different systems. In this game, because of that focus I had on accessibility, you can change between controller, mouse, and touch support at any given moment, and everything feels like the smoothest I could,
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's quite challenging. And we had to redesign a lot of systems.
Mhm.
The cool thing is that you had a lot of trust on what I was doing because only, let's say, the aesthetic part was in there, but we don't have anyone specialized in UX in the team. So it was
Mhm.
something we had to improvise. And I worked a lot in that, in making everything to be as intuitive as I could. Maybe my background as a psychologist for like 10 years worked a little bit of understanding how
Mhm.
attention works and how
Mhm.
movement works and all that stuff. But still, it was really challenging.
Mhm.
And the game, in terms of UX and how it's controlled with the controller, it changed in the last years a lot,
Mhm.
but really a lot. And I think it's something we wouldn't even prevent from the very beginning. Indeed, we were like, okay, the convenient way of playing is with the mouse. Let's just do something that feels like an okay replacement. But instead, we have a game that I think it's like as solid with controller being a UI game as it's with the mouse, with this really challenging, but we went there.
Mhm.
And I'm really proud about that. It has like way more work behind what you can see that you can even imagine.
Mhm.
The most complex in my 10 years as a game developer, I think is the most complex system I've ever developed. So yeah, I would say that.
I think that's an absolutely great shout because again, things that I take for granted, where I'm like, oh, it just works really good, and like I play it in Steam Deck, and it was something we talked about, but it's something we talked about early on that we discussed, like, hey, we want this not to just be on PC, we want to hit consoles, and I think it was to our credit that yeah, you're right. We had to obviously like improvise and like kind of find it. But we had that conversation early where we said like, hey, let's make because we didn't want for an interface game. We didn't want to just have a virtual mouse. We
Yeah, I
wanted
hate that.
yeah like we're both pretty. I mean. We've obviously got a little bit of that in some of the mini games, like the flyer mini games, some of the, but it's okay. I think in small doses, it's fine. But for a game that you are playing like the whole time, it would the fiddliness, and I think that being able to make mapping the controller and being able to like work your way around it is really cool. Like, and I mean, to the point of where I don't mind. Like, some of these games you go, oh, I guess I'll play a controller. I don't. I'm happy to play. between the two.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at my desk, mouse, and then if I'm on the sofa, whatever, playing Steam Deck, I'm like, hell yeah! Like I mean, it's very satisfying switching between
Yeah,
stuff.
there
Like,
are like some moments that it's even like more intuitive and like more fast and
hmm
even satisfying to be like fast, really fast clicking and
hmm
everything responds smoothly. So yeah, yeah, I got that. It happened to me too.
but the shutters though, the shutters is the only thing with mouse. And
Oh
I
yeah.
know we're gonna. I'll eat humble pie that the shutters aren't intuitive right from the beginning, but I still stand by that it is the dopamine hit I get every time I load up the game where I go like shutters, bam, 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 like with the
Yeah, I
mouse.
totally
Love it.
overdid then, right? Like it's
But it
really
feels
cool.
so
Like
good. It feels so I love just
yeah,
like da 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 like it's
that
just
system is also quite complex, to be honest. And I spend way more time than I'm willing to admit into the SFX and VFX in that
mhm.
place. Like all the particles, the dust particles that were from like a cleaning minigame that
That we
didn't make
didn't make
into the final
it.
version. And I reuse them to give like some particles when opening the shutters. And all that like rumble when you are like the haptic response when you
hmm
are using the controller
hmm
feels really nice, and also that they get stuck every time you are opening them,
Yeah.
like a little bit more
hmm
like metaphors, like deep metaphors about the struggle because we are indie, we have to be pretentious somehow, so this is our pretentiosity, like our
Pretentious moment about
pretentious
the
go,
shutters.
yeah.
But
Every time they get a little bit more stuck.
it's like the perfect like example of like creative versus like like where like I sent you a GIF. Let's just so a lot of the way that we work is that I would come up with an idea and I present it in a GIF form. So what I presented revealed the GIF of like, hey, we should have the shutters and they should do like bum 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 like this. Said and then of course Theo has to then look at that and go, but how do I okay, but sure, like in the GIF it works, but how does it actually feel good? And I'm just like, idea now exists. I give it to Rothio makes edits, yeah, that's and Rothio would go like I
Yeah.
still my favorite quote is when you said to me, I like it that you give me design with gaps because then I get to I fill in the gaps. And I was there like thinking
Yeah.
at first I was like, what gaps? There's no gaps in this design. It's
Oh
flat
dear,
enough.
you have
Yeah.
no idea how many gaps that's in there. Like most of the times I had to change like half, like even reuse some of your assets in a more
hmm
creative way. So it works like when implementing them.
hmm
And sometimes I realize that you didn't even realize that I
No.
changed it
Of
so
course not.
much.
There's a lot of stuff
But
in
yeah,
this
it
game.
was. No, I have to admit, like as a programmer, that's like almost like a like it can be a curse and a dream for some programmers. Okay, so let me explain this. If you have like let's say a boss or someone that is like so proud of what they are doing and they leave like some gaps for like the person that is programming to fill, it can be like really annoying because if you don't do exactly what is in the other person's mind, you have to redo or you can get to arguments, etc. On our side, I think because of that, like trusting each other and like complementing, etc. Uh, have you realized that every time you gave me like new designs, they were like more like less detailed because you saw how I was like redesigning low level the stuff you were doing. It
hmm
was really satisfying because normally when you are a programmer, you don't have the opportunity of have like that much freedom to
hmm
explore how the stuff feels and like how you can make them work not only in navigation and UX, but also like how to implement certain functionality of movement
hmm
or where to place the stuff. So yeah, it was really nice. And normally I have like some back and forth, like I let some some of the values as a parameter, so you could always like adjust speed of animations and
Mm-hmm.
different stuff, so it fits a little bit more what you have in mind. But it was really cool. Like it was one of the first times that I feel really confident on what my design role was in there. And even if I was not that invested in the high level design of like the feeling and characters and dialogue, etc., etc., I felt I was like really involved in the implementation of all the different systems and the different mini games and the different stuff that it's actually translating into how you play, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I'm really happy that you trusted me and gave me like that opportunity instead of just like, you know, being too strict with everything fitting what you had in mind, you know.
I mean, I'm glad you feel that way, but in my head, like, there's no other way the game would have worked, right? Like, it needed that, initiative from like both of us, and even like everyone, like likewise. I mean, to just mention Gina again, when we first talked about it, Gina was like, "Oh, I don't play guitar, and I don't write lyrics." Or like she wasn't, she didn't, she said she hadn't written, like she didn't really write lyrics, kind of stuff like that. And she was like, because obviously some of the game being so post-punk orientated, she's like, I'm not those rocking. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. And I was like, "Hey, don't worry about it. I'll write the lyrics." I've got like friends, I've played in these bands, we'll write a bunch of this stuff. And it became very quickly apparent, it's like between all the other things that I was working on, it's like, when was I gonna do? And of course, it was just because then it only worked because Gina wrote like 95% of the lyrics of the game and she learned guitar during development. So like, so the same way that, you're like feeling like, hey, I had that room you had the room to design and bring that, like to express yourself in that way. To me it's like really the case of that level of, like you say, I think trust is the key word, but also of, by yeah, trusting the different components of the game, right? Like you're way talking about, like with the implementation within that systemic stuff you're talking about, in the same way with the story and, like, maybe more the machinations of the world building that you trusted with me. um I think that has been, like, damn it, I would say, like, that has been a success. Like, the game, I am proud of the game for what it is now.
I
Like,
am too.
yeah, that's a nice thing to feel like, because I think it's always difficult working on something so closely and being where you are now, because of course going through the development, like things, even we joke now in hindsight, there's things where I'm like, oh, I would have done that differently, or there's things where I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have done that, or like little things where I'm like, oh, I wish I'd tweaked this or that. This
Yeah.
a piece of work is never, like, I think something as vast as this, to feel like it's finished, and to acknowledge, okay, you're done. But like when it's like going off the console and like localization is something that you have to go, okay, hands off. But I do feel that for what it is and what we wanted to say with it and do with it, we delivered on those things, and it contains the multitudes of all of our personal endeavors and what we put ourselves into it. And, like, for me and you and everyone we described previously, who also worked in the dev team. And I think that is that like, that's a really, I mean, that's a really nice place to be with, like, 1 week away, where at least I go, well, there's nothing else I could have done.
No, yeah, you're
Literally, there's
totally,
no, right? Sorry.
you're
Yeah, yeah,
totally right.
yeah.
No, and also now that you have mentioned, like we have talked about like the development team,
Mm,
but a game with this size, it's not always just the development team, but there is
mm-hmm,
like another, like really a lot of people around, and without them, it would not even be possible. Like the QA team that have been working day and day to bring like all the issues. So
mm-hmm,
the day it's gonna be launched, it's gonna be like really stable and
mm,
quite confident about that. I'm always scared about bugs that can can raise when you release a game, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we are in a really good position because of the amazing QA team. We have also had like a full team of people that have worked in localization,
Mm-hmm.
people that have worked in marketing, production, like a lot of different areas. The porting in PlayStation and Nintendo Switch by Nelly Vision, that is a small team of really fantastic people. So yeah, even if it's the two of us talking
Mm-hmm.
and naming a few
Mm-hmm.
specific
Mm-hmm.
people which have helped us like directly, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
being temporary part of the team, there is a lot of more people involved that
Mm-hmm.
has done some of them more, some of them less, it
Mm-hmm.
depends, but they have been a key part
Yeah.
for a game like this to be released.
100%. I'm just laughing because like everything you said is completely true, but we haven't actually said who our publisher is, which is Curve Games.
Yeah.
Just to get like that, who are attached to a lot of the all obviously either
Yeah,
finding
it
the
it
partners we've
was my
worked with.
next step.
It
It
was
was the
okay,
link.
okay, right. So we mentioned the QA, and I was thinking like, I was just thinking, oh, if we
No, no, I
mentioned QA,
was.
okay, oh, you had it planned. I'm sorry,
No, no, it's
I
okay, it's
ruined your
okay.
setup.
You know,
Sorry.
I'm no, no, I'm the, you know, you are the chaotic part of the thing. I am the organized one, so I had it written down just in case
Okay, okay,
you
okay.
forgot
Yeah,
about it.
no,
But
I was
yeah,
ready.
of course,
Yes.
part of those teams
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
also our publisher that have trusted us
Mm.
from the very beginning. When we were like less than halfway in the development when we met them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. True.
and
Yeah.
it's amazing see like a big team trusting or trusting us
Mm.
to deliver the game. I know how that can be difficult for a team that even if both of us have been working for 10 years,
Mm.
almost 10 years in development, it was the first time we worked together. And
Mm.
even if we had like a solid demo by them, I know it's difficult to put that much trust in a team, and
Mm.
it's something I appreciate a lot because otherwise I don't think it would have been possible for us to develop and deliver this game because you know. We have hobbies like having a house and eating and all that kind of stuff that needs that needs somehow support,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
So yeah, it's amazing, and thank you for the trust,
Mm.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
been really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, within the climate, right? Like, it feels crazy that we managed to get like something which is I won't be I won't be coy like I mean Wax Heads was made to be a commercial game, but it has so much personal identity in it, so it feels like it is walking a very fine line. So it's still asking for a very like you say a very big um bucket load of trust to go like okay like you guys know what you're doing and obviously we present yes, but anyone who knows
Mhm.
me in my head, I'm like, ah. I mean, it's completely sprawling this conversation at this point. It's just,
Well, I if I can like
yeah, of course.
also name like the people that has been with me on Twitch from the very beginning.
Mm,
For people that is not aware, I because I'm really yeah, I'm like the organized half of the team, but I'm also a person that really loves the track quite easy. Maybe that's the reason I put like so many like rules and write everything down, etc. It's because I'm like deep chaotic inside, and I try to to diminish it. But they have been with me. I've been live streaming development for I think 5 6 years now, so
mm,
it's like quite a while. And the last 2 years and a half it's been 100% wax heads. I created the project the very first time and the repository on stream, and the day I we hit the publish button, I will be probably with them. And they have helped me a lot. Some of them have helped me like technically, like suggesting stuff. Some of them have do like I don't know, like small jingles for the game, because I needed like a specific guitar sound
Mm,
when they win. That was, for example, Johnny,
mm,
or a UX pass and UX suggestions by Noah,
mm,
or even Juan and Mike. Every time I had like an issue with particles or shaders, they were there to support me. And even if they were not like technically helping,
mm,
the support of having someone so invested in the development that they were watching me 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. It's like kind of
mm.
crazy.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I am so grateful, and I don't know what's gonna happen after the release of Wax Heads, but I wouldn't like miss doing it again. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's gonna happen next? We're gonna make more games, right?
Yeah, I'm totally up to it,
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, we will see. We will see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really when we proposed to do this, I talk to do this, like to talk about it's 1 week away. I didn't really. I just know when we talk, it's always fun. So I thought this would be a fun conversation. I didn't realize it turned into such a love fest of just going through it. But I think it's kind of cool to be like, hey, yes, we're an indie dev duo who like that's Patattie Games, but really what it said is me and you, but also it is all these other people who have in
Yeah,
some way or another touched it and given their time to it. And also the people who we this game what we announced it in April 2024, and there's been some people who have been steadfast in being supportive of it all the way through, and it should go over like it should be said that it's so easy to be thrown off and to lose like, confidence in an idea, and for people to just kind of like be so um open and forthright with their emotions and enthusiasm for what it says has been really really honestly, I still find it hard to accept because it's just too terrifying. But it's so lovely, and people have been so kind to us. So that's also just yeah. All that's
yeah,
left
it is.
now is to just release
It's
the
been
game.
I
And
think it's been like we were going to talk about like how we felt during development, etc. But it turned out into a like we are grateful kind of conversation. And I really love
mm,
that.
yeah, but I guess that's probably how we feel about it, right? Because that is how I feel.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm grateful that this game exists. I'm grateful I got to make it, and I think and I'm again very grateful for our working partner. I'm just, I don't know, and I think it's nice to say these things out loud and to be said because it's just such a like I don't know why not, why not
Yeah,
just,
indeed.
but yeah, I think we will because otherwise I think we will spiral. Like I mean, or at least not you. I will spiral if we keep going.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
s-
a nice moment
yes,
yeah.
okay, so 1 week to go.
Oh dear.
Going to be completely normal in the lead up to it.
Yeah,
Um,
I really hope you guys like it, and
mm,
that everyone can see like all the effort we put in it, and they can like see yourselves in there. So yeah, thank you for playing, or at least like thank you for listening to this podcast
mm,
until the very end, and yeah,
yeah.
thank you for supporting us.
Thank you so much. Um, Wax Heads releases May 5th on Steam, PC, Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and yeah, we're
S-
just
Steam and Windows platform.
yes. Oh, and Windows platform. Yeah, that's true. So yes, um, we can't wait to hear what you think about it. Thanks so much, and yeah, just take care and keep on spinning.
Ya, venga, hasta luego. Bye bye.